Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Libra for the week of November 21st. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Libra, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now, do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. And all of your likes, comments, shares really do help the channel grow and are very much appreciated here. And all of the decks that I use on my channel are linked in the description below this video. All right. So let's go ahead and let's make sure we're all set up here and in view, and then we'll get right into it. Go ahead and put that right there, and then we'll take a couple of these. And okay. Energy on the bottom, you have the World. So the World is definitely a card you love to see. Some of you here coming to a time of completion or going through some completions in your life. I gotta say, the World's been coming in for quite a bit of people here, and quite a few people here in this week, and you're the last sign I'm doing. So you know, the World is Saturn energy. Saturn in astrology is a slow-moving planet, and with that, it brings along big changes that kind of represent a coming of age. And you can think of it like if you've ever heard of the Saturn return. The Saturn return is like a coming of age moment where you transition out of one phase of life and into another phase of life. And you can think of the World in a similar way, which is you've completed something very big, or it can suggest that this is on the way for you. I have a feeling that this isn't over yet, to be totally real with you. I have a feeling that there's a little bit more to go for you here if I'm just looking at these cards. But with the World on the bottom, what I think this is showing is that you have this vision of the completion in your mind. Okay, you can feel the completion. You know that there's something closing out. You know that there's a cycle closing out. You know that the victory is on the horizon. It's not here yet, though, is what I feel in this reading. So let's unpack it and let's talk about this some more. By the way, this does suggest a victory, just so you know. And you know, you will be sort of being given that here in the future. But right now it seems like there's something else here. So in the overall situation, you do have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about long-term, your long-term situation. You're thinking it's about potentially long-term investments, but really it's about planning for the long haul, or even contemplating a redirection or contemplating a change. I do think that some of you here are in this period of reflection and contemplation right now. You can see that this person here is thinking about what is next for them. And they're really looking at this harvest here on the card and saying like, okay, do I take this now or do I wait? Do I let it grow a little bit? It can be applied to pretty much any area of your life. In the financial areas of your life, the Seven of Pentacles would be something like a retirement account or even real estate, you know, something bigger, something that kind of accrues over time. Hopefully appreciates over time. That's the goal. But, you know, with this Seven of Pentacles, I just feel like this might not be financial for you. This feels like it's something else. Okay, it feels like it's something else. There's like a big chapter here where there's a some of you are just thinking about like, okay, how do I want to write the next chapter, right? Like in my life. And some of you may not be ready to put pen to paper yet. Okay, you might not be ready to write that next chapter yet, but you're really thinking about it here. And this will be something that is long term for you. Okay, wherever you go, whenever this cycle closes out, the next one will be there for some time, is what I feel like saying. In the past, you have the Knight of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands, and you also here have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is very much a Libra energy. This is somebody who, it can be any air sign, but as Libra is the cardinal air sign, this is heavily associated with Libra. I'm going to say that this is you. It doesn't matter what gender you are. I don't attach gender to my cards. I just read energies. Some of you here have been looking at, in the past year, you've been looking at everything that you've been taking on. And some of you feel like you've been taking on too much. Okay, too many burdens here with the Ten of Wands. Some of you feel like you've needed this space of reflection, or this space to contemplate your situation here with the Seven of Pentacles in the middle. And again, you can also think of the world as reflection. It's typically reflection after a long journey, or reflection on the journey that you've taken. Again, I don't think this completion's here yet, but some of you here in the past have had maybe a smaller completion, where because the Ten of Wands represents a completion of the Suit of Wands, the world is a bigger one. And so some of you may have done something important here in the past, not quite the world level, but it's almost like some of you are like, okay, I'm really going to reduce some burdens here, or I'm really going to kind of try to clear my plate here so I can get to the big thing. I can get to the big thing, which is the world. And I do think that maybe this has helped you, especially if, if you're single and you're looking for love. The Knight of Cups is certainly a card you would like to see. This can represent a financial arrival, or my apologies, a romantic arrival or a romantic situation potentially showing up in your life. This could be somebody that you think about a lot. This is probably somebody you already know with the Knight of Cups, or somebody that you've already met, I should say. And it's almost like for some of you here, in the love area of your life, you've needed to clear some obligations, clear some burdens to bring this in. If you are single and here, if you're not single and you are here for love, some of you are really like, okay, what does my future with this person that I'm in a relationship with look like? Is this long-term? Maybe we've been together for 10 years. I mean, do we have another 10 years? Something like that. Like some of you may be thinking about like the really like, okay, what is the truth? What is the real here in this relationship? In the current situation, you have the Five of Swords, you have the Five Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. All right. I've got the 10 on my mind because I've said the word completion so many times with the World and the Ten of Wands. So the High Priestess here, this is really a card that asks you to trust your intuition. And I feel like saying slow down as well. I'm a Libra. I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, need to slow down. And I don't always get that with the High Priestess, but something about slowing down here seems to be important, okay? Especially when you have something like the burden energy of the Ten of Wands in the past. Something maybe about slowing down and connecting within with the High Priestess here showing up. The lower row is the row of your subconscious. When I get the High Priestess in the lower row, to me that would suggest that some of you are having some pretty vivid dreams. And you might be able to do some dream analysis. If I highly recommend keeping a dream journal and just referencing the symbols that you get in your dreams just online. Whenever I get some crazy dream symbolism, I always check online and see what the meaning of that is. I'm feeling guided to say that to some of you, okay? Because I get a sense that some of you are in this reflectionary period here with the Seven of Pentacles and really thinking about like, okay, taking a step back, like, okay, what is next for me? I'm really thinking about where to go from here. You have this Five of Swords as well. Up here, Five of Swords can represent some type of loss or defeat or challenge. The thing about the Five of Swords is it is totally recoverable, okay? And so for me, the Five of Swords is something that makes you stronger. So if we're putting this all together, the Five of Swords seems a little bit misplaced, to be real with you. Sometimes that happens. I do want to get a clarification on this Five of Swords, which I will in just a moment. But, you know, to me, some of you may be thinking, you know what it is? It's actually not misplaced. You know what it is? This upper row is the row of your thoughts. Some of you feel like, some of you are doing the risk reward analysis here, where it's like, okay, if I want to move in a new direction, as you see the Seven of Pentacles, but what will I lose in pursuing something new, right? Or in pursuing this completion? In pursuing this completion, what will I lose? And some of you are maybe placing too much emphasis on what you will lose instead of placing the emphasis on what you will gain. And that might be a message for some of you. Now, in the future, you have the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles, and you also have the Eight of Pentacles here showing up. So the Eight of Pentacles, you know, this is really a card that can indicate, I love the Eight of Pentacles. It's all about good movement forward, but it says you have major talent in life. There's a major talent here. You can see this person's working away, you know, working very hard, sculpting something. It's just symbolism for them and their ability to kind of profit or to be employed by the talent that they have. In this case, this person's a sculptor, but you can apply it to anything else. And also dedication. The Eight of Pentacles also represents dedication. I like that you have the Seven of Pentacles into the Eight of Pentacles. I like that it's diagonal with the Knight of Cups as well. Diagonals are directions that you're headed. So if you are here for love, you are only interested in somebody that you can dedicate significant time and energy to. If you cannot dedicate significant time and energy to this person is not for you. And vice versa. If they're not ready to do that, it's not for you. And I think that some of you are also coming to that understanding here. You do have this Five of Pentacles. Some of you are facing, some of you are putting too much emphasis on what you will lose instead of what you will gain. Okay? And the truth is that you are skilled enough to maintain some level of employment here. If I'm just reading this, if I'm looking at this reading just in a very logical way. So let's say, I don't know, you find yourself without a job. Well, it seems like you have enough skills to get another job, or it seems like you've got enough resources or contacts, or your resume is tight enough where if you need to go apply for something else, you can do that, right? Just running you through some examples here. And I think for some of you, you're looking at this completion, and you know what? Maybe some of you are like, okay, I want to start a business, but that means I have to like live off my savings for 6 months or whatever, right? And so some of you are placing too much emphasis here on what you'll lose instead of putting it in what you will gain, or putting your emphasis towards what you will gain. The Four of Swords, again, another card of rest and reflection here. Okay, so this is a heavy theme for you, Libra, with the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the World card in addition to that. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at these Kipper cards here. All right, so you have Child, Judication, High Honor, and Main Female showing up here. All right, so the interesting thing here is I feel like whatever it is that I almost feel like some of you are like at the precipice of realizing something that you've wanted to realize for a long time. I'm thinking about this Child card as if this is like something that you've had, this is like a long held dream, something that you've always kind of wanted to do in your life. I think if some of you are in a long-term relationship and you're thinking about what's next, you are considering the other people involved here. Some of you may be parents. And some of you are really thinking about that potentially as well, like the long-term ramifications there. You have High Honor and Main Female. Here's the deal with the High Honor card. People really respect the work that you do. People really look up to you. People really respect the work that you do. And in fact, you might even have people who work under you or who take mentorship from you in some respects here. And so if there's any doubt around your ability or skills, I would try to reaffirm the facts, which is it seems that you have a ton of skills, talents, and abilities, And that's something that's coming in pretty heavily here. So again, I think this is a mindset shift that could really help you. Let's go ahead and let's start to get into this even more. So you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Three of Swords, and you have the Fool. All right, so the Ace of Wands is about some sort of passionate new beginning. I love the Ace of Wands. It definitely being clarified here. This is interesting. With the Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, that's like a very exciting romantic situation. Okay, I keep my stuff PG here, but you can put two and two together. That's a very exciting romantic situation. Okay, and the sparks flying right there. What's interesting though is you have it with the Three of Swords. Some of you may have felt like rebounding, like having a rebound, okay, in the past year. I got the word rebound as I looked at the Three of Swords. Some of you may have felt like you needed to have a rebound. And I think right now, because that's showing up in the past, I think that right now you're thinking like, is this what I want to keep doing? Okay, I had my fun here. And I'm talking to single people. Okay, I had my fun here. But now what's next, right? Like now I want something, I want to dedicate myself to someone or something here. On the other end of this reading, which is, around a completion, right? In some area of your life, which, it's not immediately clear here to me, other than some of you are focused on loss and you should be focused on gain. The Fool represents a powerful new journey, a powerful new beginning in the tarot. It's the strongest card from my perspective because it starts off everything. And this card only comes forward when you're ready, and it's clarifying the King of Swords, which is you. So whatever happened here in the past, especially with the Ace and the Fool, you are getting a new start here, pretty big, a pretty big one. And let's see what else comes forward. So you have the Ten of Swords. Wow. You have the Hermit, and you have the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles twice, okay? Spirit, the universe, your guides, the cards, whatever you want to put meaning in, place meaning on, is saying you're a major skill. You're a major talent. Like, some of you actually are doubting yourself in some ways here. There's something that you're missing with the talent that you have. With the Eight of Pentacles twice and the High Priestess. High Priestess may indicate that there's something missing or hidden or mysterious. Okay, some of you are missing something here. Okay, or you're talking to yourself poorly around the skills that you have, to be totally real with you. Okay. So let go of the self-doubt here. You have the Hermit, which asks you to be introspective, which again, this is another card that I would indicate like soul searching or like, reflecting in some ways. And then Ten of Swords, Five of Swords is the one that I said wow on, because it's just the focus in your mind towards loss is so heavy. And this is a burden that I think needs to be removed here. You have the Chariot. You have the Death card, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. So wow, closing this out with some heat here, as all three cards here are major arcanas. The Wheel of Fortune is number 10, but all three cards here are major arcanas. So the future is coming quickly. And with the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune, both of these cards indicate change. They indicate change. The Death card is more of a clearing out so that you can make way for new energy, while the Wheel of Fortune is a change in your destiny. And so you're probably getting both of these things. Something's clearing out here. Hopefully it's the negative thinking. Hopefully it's the thoughts that are focused on loss. And instead, hopefully that's clearing out. And instead you can focus on the gain and the luck and the good times here with the Wheel of Fortune. The Chariot says you will be successful in going down this new journey. This is a big way to end the reading. And so you're getting closer and closer here to this completion. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I will see you in the next reading.